Welcome, Beth. We are excited to do this pre-show interview in preparation for the 2024 Travel Goods Show. Well, tell us about yourself, brief overview of your background and your experience in the travel industry.
I am founder and CEO of an international women's travel community called Wanderful. It started as a travel blog in 2009. And over the years, it has grown just beyond my wildest dreams. We have thousands of members around the world that are part of our community. We host a number of conferences and events for travel content creators, which is kind of how we had started in our own place. We host trips, and we actually do a lot of advocacy for better inclusion and better representation of women in travel, not just in the industry, but in the way we talk about travel and how we talk about travel to consumers, how we show travel, and making it something that is much more equitable for all of us. So it's been a really amazing journey. We've created all sorts of projects out of that, but Wanderful has been my baby, and I've been just so pleased to see how much it's grown.
Have a lot of experiences that kind of shaped what you're doing now, but was there something pivotal that really inspired you to really go in this direction and start this industry and travel blog with women?
It really started on my own first solo trip. I moved abroad to a country called Sao Tome and Principe, which is a two-island nation off the west coast of Africa. Yeah, it's a very small, it is the world's second smallest economy at a whopping 200,000 inhabitants. So it's a really small place. But I ended up there through happenstance. My family's Portuguese American and it's a Portuguese speaking country. And it was during that time that I discovered how much women are told that traveling alone is unique and on the downside, scary and dangerous and, not good for them. And yet, on the flip side, what we find out is that actually women dominate the travel industry in terms of consumer making decisions. We're making 85% of those decisions. In terms of solo travel, we're traveling, 2 out of 3 solo travelers are women these days. So it's really the way we're showcasing travel to women, we as a society, is very different than what we're actually seeing on the ground. And so I just started writing about that. And I think writing and seeing all of the experiences of other women who love to travel made us realize that there's so much more we need to be doing to advocate for a better industry, to partner with brands, to tell real stories featuring real diverse women around the world, and giving women access to each other wherever they go.
What
Yes.
observations, what have you noticed that have really shaped the travel industry over the past 10 years with social media and travel?
There have been a lot of trends that have really shaped the way the industry operates. And I think the creator economy is just a huge part of that. It's funny to think because when I say I started our travel blog in 2009, it feels like very long ago and also not long ago at all. That was, just a few years ago. And yet when we started, I mean, travel blogging was like online diary entry. It was not journalism like it is today. The full breadth of content was not what it is today. And there are good and bad and ugly parts of the creator industry. I say that with love for this industry that I'm a huge part of. We showcase travel as this marvelously beautiful, perfect place, but then we also fail to talk about the reality of what travel can be for people and how it can be challenging and difficult and different. And I think the travel industry really has to work on reconciling that. And I think we are. I think we're really trying to figure it out. But how do you talk about something and say it's the best thing ever, and also you're going to have challenges and that's normal, and also be promoting a brand at the same time? And so the authenticity in talking about travel and making sure that we're representing travel for what it is while also working with a variety of voices to tell their real stories, it's something that's really tricky. And I think the industry as well as the creators are trying to resolve.
Now with e-commerce and social media, content creators are really doing that test of travel goods products for us. Really, that is the test market that we go to for a search engine and say, okay, what is Beth Santos using, or what is so and so using in their field? How has this then shaped and impacted travel goods companies with these trends?
The differences have been huge in terms of how the creator economy has affected these travel goods companies. I mean, just to start off, it puts the perspectives of our experts in the space very high in terms of what people look for in the qualities of their travel goods. So you're looking at an average consumer is looking at what's the review from my favorite content creator on what they think about this, which then is going to weigh a lot more heavily into the manufacturing and the design of these products. And I think that what those creators are saying is very, very important, which also means how the creators are being introduced to those products is also very important, because you can have instances where maybe a creator misses a really important point about your product that you have designed and you spent a lot of time on, and you really thought that they would get it and they didn't. And now their voice is even stronger than ever. Having really good messaging and making sure that you're working with the creator, not for the creator, but with them to really hone, talk, let them amplify their voice, but also kind of make sure that they understand your product. All of these things, it isn't just about marketing, it also goes into development. And they're coming back to you too, right? They can say, my audience said that this worked really well, this could be improved. It ends up becoming this really great two-way interaction that can help a lot of these travel products actually become better.
It's content creator and collaborator, brand ambassadors, where they are working with these companies, showcasing not only how it works and what works, but helping them develop even better products. Tell us your involvement in what you're doing at the show.
Oh, I am so excited to be part of this show. It's my first time coming to this show. And I think respectful and helpful collaboration between creators and brands, there's really no better way. You literally have the voices, the grassroots voices, now the big voices of the industry working together with the people who are creating the products. And it just is going to make for a better travel equation for all of us. I am moderating two sessions. One is on brand and creator partnerships, of course. And the second is on travel trending products. So we're going to be able to chat a little bit. We're going to have a booth so you can learn about Wanderful too and kind of meet us and our team. And I'm going to be there for the ride. I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
Beyond just your participation, what are you excited about for the 2024 Travel Good Show?
In my work with content creators in the travel industry, a lot of the conversations that creators have is directly with brands. There are so many travel products out there. There's so many retailers out there that haven't worked with creators before, where this is very new for them. And I think the thing I'm most excited about is just watching those interactions spark and helping those spark. I think that there's so much that whether you're a small business owner, whether you have a whole ton of retail locations, whether you're a manufacturer, all of those types of businesses can really benefit from interactions with creators. And I think for people who have done it before and get it, great, we can help kind of, further polish that up. For people who haven't, here's your opportunity to have real, honest conversations about how can this benefit me? How can I incorporate this? And I think the conversations are going to be just amazing.
For brands, brand manufacturers, and retailers, how can they really network and gain insight and potentially explore collaborations with content creators?
First thing that you want to think about as you get ready for the show is, what is your intention for the show? One of the best things you can do when you're thinking about working with a creator is just first take a step back and say, what is my intention here? What am I hoping to get out of this year? How many names, do I want to walk away with? Other thing that sometimes happens is people who are not familiar with influencer marketing feel like they should know. They feel the pressure of like, oh, I'm supposed to know how this collaboration is supposed to work. So they come in from the perspective of, I think I'm being expected to have all the answers, when actually creators love teachable moments. We love to be able to say, tell us about your business, and then I'll tell you where my best assets are and what I can do best, and then we'll help each other. So don't feel like you have to go in saying, okay, my goal is work with 10 content creators on a campaign and do blah, 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 blah. Just go in with the story of who you are, what you're about, what you're really focused on for this year, what's important for you, because then those creators can use their own creative energy to think, okay, how can I be helpful here? And that's where that dialogue starts. So be intentional. Don't overthink it.
What are your top 5 travel products that you must have when you go on a trip?
My top travel products are always things that make my travel easier and just more, seamless for me. I'm a mom of 2, almost 3. I want to get out there and have, an amazing adventure, and I don't want my stuff to be holding me back. First thing is really good luggage. A good spinner suitcase. I love the ones that have a charger in them, something that can, hold a good amount of clothing, can still fit in my overhead compartment, so I'm not checking it. something that's functional and works and is going to last and is durable. I actually use my travel toiletry bag every day. Like, not even when I'm traveling, just at home. I never unpack my toiletries. I have this really great, just, one of those foldable ones with the little hooks that you stick. I bring it with me everywhere. It makes packing for my trip so much easier. Packing cubes, of course, are always on my list, not just for stuffing a whole bunch of stuff in, but just in organizing. A very tiny mini umbrella always goes with me on a trip. I love to be conscious of my environment when I travel. And so I always bring like a little fold up bag, something that's easy. So whenever I'm buying souvenirs, I have things, I can just like pop open my existing bag and put it in.
Is there a luggage manufacturer that you're like, this is my brand, this is what I'm sticking to? Same with backpacks. And if so, who are they?
Yeah, I will say I'm an entrepreneur and I love new things. And I love giving people opportunities to showcase themselves. There are certain brands that I have always loved. I love Delsey suitcases. I think they're really well made. I actually have one backpack that I will tell you I'll swear by for the rest of my life. It's manufactured by a company called Red Ox out of Billings, Montana, and they make these military grade backpacks. He's a veteran who realized that in the consumer world, they don't have the same stuff they had in the military. So he started making it. And they have these like super durable backpacks that I adore. I also really appreciate somebody who's trying something new, trying something different. I love to see a brand come back and innovate.
Tell us where they can find you, and let us know about this new book that you have being released this year.
First of all, you can find Wanderful at She's Wanderful, SHES Wanderful, on all channels. So she'swanderful.com is our URL. She's Wanderful is our Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. That's where you can find us. We do a lot of campaigns with travel companies that want to collaborate with content creators. So we'll basically help vet and manage those campaigns for you. You can find me at Maximum Beth everywhere. My URL is bethsantos.com. And as you mentioned, I do have a book coming out. It's called Wander Woman. It's coming out on March 5th. So when we're all at the Travel Goods Show, it will be live. I will be on a total high. It is a solo travel guide for women, but it's also kind of a manifesto about what our industry should be and what travel should be for everyone. I hope people will find it very insightful. I know I'll have a few copies in my hand. I don't think I'll be able to avoid it at that point. I'm just going to like walk around with it close to my heart. And of course, we'll have the booth at the show as well. So you can always come on by and say hi. But I'm really looking forward to everyone that I'm going to meet there.
What bit of travel related wisdom can you impart to us?
Travel consists of getting outside your comfort zone, challenging your way of thinking, and trying something new. And if you do that, you can travel a mile away from your house, across town, or thousands of miles away. And I think if we start thinking more about travel like that, it gives us so many more opportunities to have really incredible experiences. That's my wisdom. I think find travel everywhere because travel is everywhere, and let yourself have those moments.
Look forward to seeing you at the show. Thank you for taking time, and it's a pleasure. And please keep in touch between now
Will
and the
do.
show. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we'll see you there.